Hey guys, your girl Loves here and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. Do me a quick favor before we get started. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you're notified every time I post a new video. Now, let's get on with today's video, shall we?
Let's do it!
Alright, so as you might know by now, by the title of the video, today I have my handsome husband Rob with me.
Hello!
And today, being Valentine's Day and all, we decided it was a nice little idea to share our love story with you guys.
Yes, and what a story it is!
Oh yes, so let's start by talking about how we met.
Okay, so the way that we met was actually a very interesting story. So, myself and Laura's ex-boyfriend at the time, we were both doing the same hobby, which was miniature wargaming. Yes, we're nerds. And
They already knew that.
yeah, that's fair. And what ended up happening was he ended up bringing Laura into the store one day.
Like, we were hanging out because after we broke up, we remained good friends.
So he brought Laura into the store, and I would say we kind of got on somewhat swimmingly at the start.
No, definitely. So I walk into the store with my friends. Keep in mind, I had never been into that kind of store before. First thing that happens when I walk in, this guy comes up to say hello, and immediately, what do you do?
I'm pretty sure what I did was I put my arm on your head.
Yeah.
Sort of like that.
Yeah, like so, straight on top.
So just for a little bit of context on this, I'm 5'11". I'm not like gigantically tall by any means or anything like that. I'm perfectly average. However, Laura's 5 foot.
Pretty much dead on. So I am teeny tiny. Keep in mind, my first thought when he does this is I'm just like, what the heck is this guy doing?
Mind you, I was a bit of a twat at the time anyway, so it didn't make a great deal of difference whether or not that was going to be our introduction. It was bound to happen.
But then over time, we started to get to know each other and started hanging out a little bit.
The occasional coffee here and there.
Yeah.
In my case, it was hot chocolate. I love that stuff.
Oh, yeah, so good.
When I'm not, like, on a zero caffeine diet.
So this went on for about a year to a year and a half. Then we started losing touch.
Yeah, so what ended up happening was I ended up moving up to Sydney from Wollongong because
Stuff and things happened.
We
won't go into details about that.
And it was also easier from my job.
Yes.
So, because I worked in Sydney, but lived down in Wollongong, so it was a pain in the neck to drive backwards and forwards every day. So I thought, I work in the city, why not live there?
Yes. So then after that, for about 6 months, we lost touch. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how we got back in touch.
So I ended up receiving a text message one day from a number that I didn't recognize because I'd basically deleted all my contacts. I went as low under the radar as I possibly could. And it turned out to be this lovely lady right here.
Yeah,
because she said her name in the text message. Yeah,
so roughly about 6 months after we lost touch, one day, I don't know, I was kind of just thinking about things and he popped into my mind and I was just like, I haven't talked to him in so long, I wonder how he's doing. So I was looking through my phone and I had an old number for him. By this point, I didn't know whether it was still his number, whether it would still work. So I was just like, Stuff it. I'll send it a message. If I get a reply, I get a reply. If I don't, I don't. And, well, maybe about 10 minutes later, my phone lights up.
And it's
a
me
reply.
responding, yeah. So I was actually quite surprised because, you know, like, I thought that, like, Laura had completely forgotten about me because we hadn't spoken in so long. And, yeah, we ended up connecting through that one text message and hitting it off.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is how we actually started dating. So after a few weeks of backwards and forwards texting, you know, reconnecting, getting to know each other and everything, my mum and I ended up having to travel up to Newcastle on the Central Coast for my cousin's birthday. And, you know, I remembered that he said he now lived in Sydney. So I sent him a message and I was just like, you live pretty close to Central, don't you? And he's like, yeah, pretty close. Why? I was just like, well, I am going to happen to be at Central Station on this day around this time on my way back from Newcastle. Did you maybe want to catch up, hang out, go for a cuppa?
And I was all kinds of on board for that. So, like, 10-minute bus ride later, I was in the city and we catch up, and it was almost as though we were just together from, like, day dot.
Yeah, like, it pretty much felt like, you know, we hadn't lost touch at all.
Yeah, it felt like nothing had changed at all, and it was fantastic, especially for my mind state at the time, because it was a really rough patch for me, and, like, it was just great to have that familiar face and familiar contact.
So after that, well, we just kind of decided to go back to his place and watch a movie, just kind of chill out.
We had ourselves a nice little lunch, which consisted of sausage rolls and sausage rolls.
Oh, good old sausage rolls. Then
we went and watched a movie.
Yeah, then we went for a little walk because the place he was living in at the time was really close to the water. So we walked down to the water, just kind of sat by the water, talking, you know.
Cuddling.
Oh, yeah, there was a little bit of cuddling.
There was a bit of cuddling.
There was a little bit of cuddling, a little bit of hand-holding. Then...
That's kind of when we realized, okay, we kind of really like each other.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
So then, after that, he ends up taking me back to Central Station. And, you know, we give each other a massive hug before I swipe in to go through the gate. And he tells me after that, at that point, he was really, really tempted to kiss me.
And your response was...
I kind of wish you had. So, you know...
So we ended up texting a little bit more, and...
About 4 weeks later, we were texting one night, and it was so obvious for both of us that, you know, we really liked each other and that things were good.
Yeah, so Laura sends a text message saying, is this a thing or what?
Yeah, I'm just like, is it safe to say this is official or what? And he's just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is officially official.
And
signed on the dotted line, and here.
Yeah, and the rest, as they say, is history. I originally moved up here to Sydney when we were doing our old channel, which was, what, maybe about a year to a year and a half after we first started dating?
About 2 years, actually.
Yeah, something like that. Then 8 months after that, because of some family stuff, I ended up having to move back down to Wollongong. And then about a year and a half after that, so about a year and 4 months ago now, I was able to sort myself out and get myself back up here. And then a month after is when he proposed.
Yep.
So the next thing we want to talk about is how he proposed. So it was our 4-year anniversary, and we decided to go on a beautiful little movie date to see Bohemian Rhapsody.
So what we did during the day was we sort of hung out with some friends of ours, sort of relaxing. I was nervous the whole day.
I actually did not pick up on this at all.
Like, I sort of was, like, I was just doing my thing as usual, like, hanging out with my friends and all that, playing cards.
Playing your game, yep.
And, like, the whole time running through my head is, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, holy crap, I'm actually going to do this. When am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? What am I even doing? How could I... And fortunately, she never picked up on the sheer amount of nervousness. I ended up going Stonewall.
Yeah, so, see, I thought that he was kind of just like a bit disappointed or down or whatever because he didn't do well in the little friendly tournament that we had both played in for the card game that day. So I was just like, you know, we'll get to the movies, we'll have a good time, that'll cheer him up.
And then we go in, we watch the movie. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
It is an amazing movie.
Like, actually pause this video, go get yourself the DVD.
Yep.
Like, go to the shop, actually go buy it.
Yep.
And
like, pause right now.
Like,
right now.
We'll wait the hour and a half, it's fine.
And so we watched the movie, you know, we had, you know, our movie snacks, our drinks. It was absolutely amazing. And partway through the movie, for spoiler alert, there is a part in the movie where there is actually a proposal. And he kind of turns and says something to me when that part's going on. And I didn't exactly pick up on what he said because everything was just kind of, you know, loud in the movie theater. So I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
It's all good, you know.
Yeah.
And
What was going through my head was, if only I'd seen this movie beforehand, I could propose at the same time, and it would have been bang on. It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
So I have the ring in my pocket, right? I've got my hand in my pocket. I'm just like, hey, this is a proposal. Like, wouldn't it be cool if it was us as well? And just like.
And I didn't hear that, so I was like.
She was just like, huh, what?
And then we just kind of went back to watching the movie.
Because like the scene had sort of died down after that, so it's just like, crap, missed my chance. Alright, don't worry about it, we'll do it later.
So after that, you know, we leave the movie theater, head back towards the car, and then
so
we get in the car, we're talking.
And then I finally managed to muster up the courage, and the exact wording was, hey, you know what would have been better than seeing that movie with my girlfriend?
Seeing the movie with my fiance, and I was just like, oh my god.
Oh my god, yes! Ah!
Not quite that dramatically, but you get the idea. So, of course, you know, I said yes, and he immediately is just like, okay, we have to put this on Facebook. I'm just like, can't we wait until the morning? He's like, no, it's got to be posted today.
Well, it had to be posted that day because it was
our
our anniversary, and it was 11:45. So I literally had 15 minutes to get all of this up on Facebook to sort of close out the day.
Yeah.
And just be like, this is it. This is actually happened on our anniversary. Blah 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 blah. It was
like. But I would have mentioned, if I'd posted it the next day, I would have mentioned that it had happened the day before on our anniversary.
No, it had to be on the day.
See? So we post that just before midnight, and then I have to bring both of my parents, first thing in the morning before they can go on Facebook and see this, to tell them before they see it on Facebook, because you know they would have been mad if they saw it on Facebook first.
I mean, that is fair. But on the same token, though, like, by the time we got home, just like from that drive, which by the way was only 15 minutes, our phones had completely blown up.
Oh yes, and one of my best friends like called me all the way from, I think she was in Germany at the time.
Yeah, she was.
Like she immediately calls me and she's just like, is this for real? Oh my god, like so excited. And I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, and then a couple of my best friends were just like, dude, congrats.
Yes.
And my absolute best friend on the entire planet, who was also my
Best woman.
my best woman,
Mm-hmm.
she was just like,
Oh, Jess, if you're watching this, I am so sorry for that invitation.
yeah, I am too. But you can't deny that you weren't like that.
Point stand. Everyone was so excited.
Yeah, everybody basically freaked out.
Yeah. So then we spent the next year planning and DIYing the whole thing.
If you want to check all that out, Laura's already got a video of that, so
Yes.
go to that video.
So I've got a video talking about how I planned the wedding, and we did a story time of our wedding day as well. So I will link both of those in the description. If you want, go ahead and watch those. They are super cute and also appropriate for Valentine's Day.
And super informative.
Absolutely. So actually, I do quickly want to say, guys, I am so sorry for not posting for the last few weeks. But after the wedding, you know, I posted my Christmas DIY video. And then obviously just after that, we had Christmas. And then a few days after that, we left on our honeymoon, which was for just over 2 weeks.
Yep.
Which was absolutely amazing. We'll talk more about that in a sec. And then after we got back, I ended up immediately getting a cold.
And then immediately having back issues.
Oh, yeah. So not a few days being back at work after I get back from having to have a few days off from having this cold, I do my back in. Old injury that I just aggravated. But I had to spend basically the last 2 weeks resting up and just getting my together, you know.
Basically confined to the bed.
Yeah, basically.
With every single pillow.
Anywho, so that is why I haven't been posting videos. I am so sorry, guys, but I am back and we will be resuming our regularly scheduled program. Woo! Alright, so I guess the last thing we need to talk about is our honeymoon.
Oh, yeah! It was an absolute blast.
Oh, yeah.
What we did was basically straight after Christmas, we packed our bags and we flew over to New Zealand.
Jetted off.
We ended up spending a couple of nights in Auckland.
2 nights, I believe. Yeah, 2 nights in Auckland at this really nice little hotel right near the harbour.
Yep, it was fantastic. By the way, our travel agent hooked us
Oh my
up.
god, did she ever? Like, I cannot thank her enough, honestly.
So
so much so that when we got back, I went and bought her a bunch of flowers and gave them to her on behalf of both of us. Just because of how well she took care of us.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Teresa, we love you.
Yeah. So what ended up happening when we got to our hotel, we were given our room keys and a $100 bottle of champagne, which we weren't expecting in the slightest.
Oh no, not at all.
What ended up happening was the travel agent ended up telling the hotel that it was our honeymoon, so
they hooked us up.
They gave us the champagne. Then when we get on the cruise ship, because what we did, we took a 2-week cruise around New Zealand and back.
Well, down the entire East Coast.
Yeah.
Basically. Then across to Hobart, Melbourne, and then back. Finished in Sydney.
Yeah. But we ended up getting on the ship, and we had 4 vouchers there sitting on our bed.
Ready for us. 2 were a cover charge receipt for the fancy restaurant on the boat. As kind of a honeymoon dinner.
Yep.
Another one was a a receipt for another bottle of wine or champagne.
And then we had one which was $25 to spend at any one of the stores on the ship.
Which came in handy.
Yes, it did.
Yes.
We also had another one actually.
Which was a $50
voucher
towards something at the spa. The rest of the trip was absolutely amazing. 2 beautiful weeks cruising down the east coast of New Zealand, going to amazing places like Hobbiton.
Yes.
Oh,
we went
that
to
was
Hobbiton.
amazing.
We also got to check out the Weta workshop.
Weta workshop.
That was amazing.
Oh, so amazing. It was another little Lord of the Rings tour that we did. So Hobbiton we went to from
Taronga.
The other one we went to from Wellington.
Yeah. The Weather Workshop, for those that aren't familiar, they're basically like a prop construction facility. Every single prop you saw in Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Avatar, King Kong, District 9 as well, Chronicles of Narnia, like everything that you see was made by Weta.
Yeah.
Like they actually like 3D printed a whole bunch of stuff. We found out there that they spent 2 years creating the props for the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Like they had 2 people working by hand to create suits of chainmail. It was incredible.
Absolutely. That was just an amazing day in general.
Yeah. Like the whole cruise was fantastic. Again, like all the props to Princess Cruises, because not only did our travel agent hook us up, but they hooked us up as well.
Absolutely. Like one day we get back to our cabin from doing a few things on the ship, and there were some chocolate covered strawberries sitting on the bed for us.
Another hookup from our travel agent.
Yes, they were so good.
Yeah, but yeah, the crew at Princess Cruises on the Ruby Princess, they absolutely took care of us, and it was so much fun hanging out with them and chilling and just talking and enjoying ourselves, really. Like,
Absolutely.
we could not have had more fun.
Alright guys, so I think that pretty much sums up everything we wanted to talk about in this little story time video for you guys.
Yep.
Which is a Valentine's Day special. So much love. So with that being said guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you're notified every time I post a new video. And once again guys, I am so sorry that I've been away for a few weeks, but I am back and we are back to normal.
I also have a YouTube channel now.
Yes you do.
Rob's Voices.
I will link it below. Go check it out.
I do some very silly things.
Yes, you do.
A lot of them involve voices.
Yes. Alright guys. Bye.
Bye.